Okay, so life, right? It's a
Mm,
lot sometimes. Like between work and just life stuff, staying calm can feel impossible.
yeah,
What if there were simple things you could do, though, right now to, like, find some peace in all that chaos?
right.
We found this blog post, and it's called How to Stay Calm When Life is Stressing You Out.
Oh,
And
cool.
it's from this website, corashay.com. It's got all these great tips you can actually use.
Nice, practical stuff.
What's really cool about it is it's not just, like, surface level advice. It's, like, funny, too, and it feels like the author really wants to help people.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So, like, one of the first things that jumped out at me was how the blog talks about how important it is to just admit you're stressed. Like, that's the first step.
yeah, that makes
Like,
sense.
instead of just pretending everything is fine.
Oh, absolutely. I
Right.
think the post put it, hold on, I wrote it down. Denial is not just a river in Egypt, folks.
Uh-huh. That's so good.
Right.
It's true, though. We can't fix something if we don't even admit it's a problem.
You know.
So, okay, we admit we're stressed. Now what?
Well, the blog goes right into this technique you can use anywhere, anytime. Just deep breathing.
Oh, yeah, deep breathing. I've heard of that. But does it really do anything?
Oh, yeah, it's not just some like woo-woo thing. It's like actual science.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a deep breath, you stimulate something called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve. It helps regulate your nervous system. So basically, it's like you're telling your body to chill out, like slow down, relax.
Oh, interesting. So it's like switching from that fight or flight mode to like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, cool. I've tried deep breathing, but never really understood why it worked.
Right. Mm.
Knowing about this vagus nerve makes it way more like tangible.
Yeah, you can actually control your body's response.
Yeah, exactly. But what about when you have all this like restless energy?
Oh, come
Like
on.
you feel all this stress, but you can't just sit and breathe.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, that's where movement comes in.
Exercise.
Yeah, like I know when you're feeling overwhelmed, exercise is probably the last thing you want to do.
Sure.
But the blog is like, think differently about it. And there's a good reason.
Okay, I'm listening. What's so magical about moving your body when you're stressed out?
It's like hitting reset for your brain.
Oh, okay.
Like it releases these things called endorphins. They're natural mood boosters, and it helps control cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
So it's not just physical, it's mental and emotional too.
Exactly.
Does it have to be like a crazy workout though?
No, no, not at all.
Like I can barely get to the grocery store.
Right. Even short bursts of activity help. Just a walk, a few minutes of dancing, even stretching.
At your desk.
Yeah, anything to help shift your energy and clear your mind. And like, if you want to go further, there's all sorts of things to try. Yoga, HIT workouts, whatever works best for you.
Huh. I guess I need to rethink my whole I'm too busy excuse.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a dance break between emails is exactly what I need.
Could be.
Speaking of getting things done, the blog also mentions how being organized can help you feel calmer, like mentally.
Yeah.
Is there something to that?
Oh, for sure. Like, when your workspace is a mess,
Mine totally is.
it can make you feel even more overwhelmed. But if you take the time to, like, clean your desk, organize your schedule, make a to-do list, it's
Mhm.
like you're taking control of your environment.
Right. Yeah.
And that helps you feel calmer, too, inside.
That's so interesting. So it's not just about being tidy.
Right.
It's about feeling more in control.
Exactly. It helps you focus on what matters.
A lot to think about.
It's a good start.
We just scratched the surface though, right?
Oh, yeah, there's tons more in this blog post.
We'll dive into those right after this quick message.
Oh,
Welcome back. Okay, so we were just starting to dig into all these amazing tips for staying calm, right?
right. And one thing that really struck me was how the blog talks about the importance of taking care of yourself, like really foundational stuff.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, sleep, for example.
Sleep. Oh man, I am so bad at that.
A lot of us aren't.
Like I always think I can just catch up on sleep later.
Yeah,
But the blog is saying that's not a good idea.
pretty much. Think about it. When you're sleep deprived, your brain is basically running on empty.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know that feeling after an all-nighter? You're irritable, can't think straight.
Oh, totally.
It's because lack of sleep messes with your hormones, especially cortisol.
Oh, right, cortisol, the stress hormone.
Exactly. So not getting enough sleep actually makes you more stressed.
Huh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I always feel on edge when I'm not sleeping enough.
Exactly. And when you do prioritize sleep, you give your body and mind a chance to, like, recharge.
Okay, I'm starting to see sleep less as a luxury and more as a necessity.
Yeah, especially for stress management.
I need to shift my thinking on that one for sure. But what about food? Does the blog talk about that too?
It does. It emphasizes how important nutrition is for your mood and stress levels.
So like avoiding sugar crashes and stuff.
That's definitely part of it.
Okay, I can see that.
Processed foods, sugary drinks, too much caffeine, they all mess with your blood sugar.
Right, and that makes you feel all over the place.
Exactly. But it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff.
Okay.
The blog talks about food as fuel, especially when you're stressed.
Oh, interesting. So what kind of fuel should we be going for?
Think about it like training for a marathon.
Yeah.
You wouldn't eat junk food, right?
Probably not.
Same goes for stress. You need to nourish your body to help it cope.
So, like, healthy stuff.
Yeah, things like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein. That kind of stuff helps keep your blood sugar stable, gives you nutrients, and even helps balance your mood.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like giving your body the tools it needs to deal with stress.
Exactly. And I know sometimes when you're stressed, you just crave comfort food.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right. But it's about finding a balance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the blog even says that indulging sometimes can be self-care.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's about listening to your body, but also being aware of the long-term effects of what you eat.
I like that. It's about making conscious choices.
Exactly. So we've talked about sleep, nutrition, but there's another big piece here.
What's that?
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Really? That seems kind of different from, sleep and food.
It might seem like a jump, but it's all connected. Gratitude is super powerful when it comes to stress.
But how does that work? Like, how does focusing on what you're grateful for actually help?
Well, it's about finding the good, even when things are tough.
Okay.
And it's not just a nice idea, there's actual science behind it. When you practice gratitude, you activate the reward centers in your brain.
Really?
Yeah, it releases dopamine and serotonin. Those are the neurotransmitters that make you feel happy.
So it's like rewiring your brain to focus on the positive.
Exactly. But how do you actually do it, When you're stressed, it's hard to think about what you're grateful for.
That's true.
It can be as simple as just taking a few minutes each day to think about things you're grateful for. Anything. Keep a gratitude journal, tell someone what you appreciate, or just notice small things that make you happy.
Like a good cup of coffee.
Exactly. Or a sunny day, a nice conversation.
I like that. It's like training your mind to see the good.
Yeah, even in the chaos.
Yeah.
But sometimes, even with gratitude, it's still a lot to handle, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the blog brings up another strategy. Delegation.
Delegation. Ooh, that one's hard for me.
I know. It can feel like giving up control.
It totally does.
But it's not about that. It's about recognizing that you can't do everything yourself.
Okay, but I like things done a certain way.
We all do. But trying to do it all leads to burnout.
True.
Delegation is about trusting others to help.
I never thought of it that way.
It lightens your load and it empowers the people around you.
That's a good point, but how do I even know what to delegate?
Start with tasks you don't enjoy or things someone else might be better at.
Okay.
Then communicate clearly what you need, give them the support they need, and trust the process.
I'm going to have to work on that one. But before we get too deep into delegation, the blog mentioned something else I wanted to talk about. Hobbies.
Oh, hobbies, yes.
I love having creative outlets, but how does that help with stress?
Think of it as an escape hatch.
Okay.
When you do something you love, whether it's painting or gardening or whatever, you shift your focus away from your stress.
Yeah, it's like a mental vacation.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like giving your brain a break.
It's so true. When I'm working on a project I enjoy, I completely forget about everything else.
It's like time stands still.
Yeah, but it's so hard to make time for hobbies when you're busy,
I hear you. But just like you schedule meetings, you can schedule time for your hobbies.
Even if it's just for a short time.
Exactly. Even 15, 30 minutes can make a difference.
I'm actually feeling inspired to pick up my guitar again.
That's great.
Okay, but we've got even more to talk about from this amazing blog.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
We'll be back after a quick message to dive into even more strategies for staying calm. All right, we're back. And you know what? Just talking about all this stuff already has me feeling a little calmer.
It's funny how that works, right?
It's like a reminder that we actually have some control over this whole stress thing.
Absolutely. Just
Yeah.
recognizing it is a huge step.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we talked about sleep, food, gratitude, delegation, even hobbies.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff.
But there's still more to unpack from this corachet.com blog, right?
Oh yeah, there's one thing I wanted to mention. It's the idea of creating a calming environment.
Like your surroundings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's easy to focus on what's going on in our heads and forget about the impact of our physical space.
So we're talking about actually designing a space for relaxation.
Kind of. The key is to create a space that feels like a sanctuary, a place where you can escape and just be.
Okay, a sanctuary, I like that.
Yeah.
But where do you even begin?
It can be as simple or as elaborate as you want, like adding some plants to your workspace, choosing calming colors for your walls, even just keeping things tidy and organized.
Right, we talked about how clutter can make you feel more stressed.
Exactly. It's the same idea here. A clean and organized space can really make a difference.
It's true. When my apartment's a mess, my mind feels messy too.
Totally. But what about when you can't physically escape to your sanctuary, you know?
Like when you're stuck in a meeting or on a crowded train.
Exactly. That's where mindfulness and meditation come in.
Oh, meditation.
The blog talks about how even a few minutes of focused attention can help you handle stress way better.
I've always wanted to try meditation, but I'm terrible at it.
Really?
My mind just won't shut up.
I get it. But that's the thing. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind.
Well, it's not.
Nope. It's more about noticing your thoughts and feelings without judging them.
That actually sounds more doable.
Right. Just let them come and go like clouds.
But what if my thoughts are just, like, going crazy?
There are different techniques you can try. The blog mentions guided meditations. They can be really helpful.
Guided meditations.
Yeah, there are apps and websites with meditations for everything.
Oh, cool. So it's like having a meditation coach.
Exactly. Speaking of connection, the blog also talks about the importance of connecting with loved ones.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like the opposite of unplugging from technology.
It is. It's about having real-life interactions, the kind that remind you you're not alone.
Sometimes just talking to a friend can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. But what if you don't want to burden people with your problems, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, that's where self-compassion comes in.
Self-compassion.
The blog reminds us to be kind to ourselves, just like we would be to a friend.
Ugh, that's so hard sometimes.
It is. We're often our own worst critics.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how do you actually practice self-compassion?
Start by noticing that inner critic, that voice that's always putting you down.
Yeah.
And instead of judging yourself, try offering yourself some comfort and encouragement.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that you're doing the best you can.
It's like giving yourself permission to be human.
Exactly. And that's really the heart of this whole blog post, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Embracing our humanity and finding ways to deal with life's challenges.
With grace and humor and a whole lot of self-compassion.
Exactly.
It's been awesome exploring all these different strategies for staying calm.
So many great takeaways.
We've covered so much good stuff, from sleep and food to gratitude and meditation.
And don't forget those calming environments.
Right, and hobbies and delegation and self-compassion.
So much to think about.
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once.
Definitely not.
Just pick one or two things that resonate with you and try them out.
Exactly. Start small and see what works.
That's great advice. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about. What one tip from today stood out to you the most? And how can you start using it today? We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below. Let us know what resonated with you and how you're going to put these tips into action. Until next time, deep divers, stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay calm.